Joshua and Lupita, they've known each other for a few years now. They met each other in 2018. Now, Lupita has her own story. There's a lot of Lupita lore on this internet. But for the sake of time, I'm going to condense this story. Lupita is also a successful, beautiful, stunning, talented actress. She was actually born in Mexico to Kenyan parents. It seems like she comes from a pretty well-off family and a pretty educated family because her father was a political science professor and she went to school.
For my undergrad, I studied film studies and African studies as well. I went to this very liberal arts school where you could design your own major. So those are the interests that I took on.
She's accomplished.
And the Oscar goes to Lupita Nyong'o.
Now, before we get into Joshua and Lupita's old trifling asses, let's talk about Lupita's relationship with Salima Masekela because that matters in this storyline. So a year prior, around 2023-ish, she revealed, actually, they made it Instagram official, that she was dating Salima Masekela. I really hope I said his name right. I probably butchered it, but y'all gonna forgive me. They met on a flight in 2016. Around 2016 to 18, things were popping off for these people. Masekela is a sports commentator, musician, and entrepreneur who owns the surf lifestyle brand Mami Wada and is best known as the son of an anti-apartheid activist and father of South African jazz Hugh Masekela. What is interesting to note is that his father is South African, but his mama is Haitian. Like I mentioned earlier, I am of Haitian descent. I don't know too much about South Africa, but I do know one thing for sure. Haitian men. Oh, Lord. I'm not surprised about how things turned out with her and this man. If he had a Haitian mother, then he was coddled, y'all. He was definitely coddled. After they met on the plane, they made it Instagram official. I guess he chased her down. So she gave the brother a chance. Lupita was actually opening up at this time because we know her as a very private individual. She's opposite of Jodie. Jodie is very out there and open about her life. But Lupita is very private. And it was very interesting to see her open up about her relationship. Sis was very excited about this. It's important to note that Lupita revealed in 2015 that she was under a lot of pressure from her mother to get married. And she said that a few weeks ago when she was in Kenya, so in this interview, her mother had in a subtle way hinted that it was time she had grandkids. I would be driving along with my mother and she would say, "That's a nice school for children," and look at me. Y'all, ma'am, don't you have other children that you could look at? I'm sure Lupita has a big family. There are other kids that she could look at. Now, this is what I was talking about, that pressure. And mind you, sis was sheltered. I could already tell because she comes from an African family. I already know that. And looking at her past dating history, none of them would pass the test for me. And then it says here that she said that she has not yet found the right man to start a family with. That will all be determined when I have that moment, when I have that man. These parents need to stop pressuring their children because that pressure is the reason why she ended up with the Salima Masekela guy, and then also why she ended up with Joshua Jackson. There's pressure. And she's feeling it. And she's in her 40s now, y'all. Now, not even a year after they debuted their relationship on social media, she decided to share with the world what happened to her and her airplane bae. She wrote, "There are much more important things going on in the world right now, and my thoughts are with those who are deeply suffering." This was around the time that the Hamas and Israel situation went down. But sis still decided to let us know what was going on, y'all. So she really felt it in her soul that she needed to tell us that she had broken up with this man and what he did to her in so many words. At this moment, it is necessary for me to share a personal truth and publicly disassociate myself from someone I can no longer trust. Child, he swindled her, y'all. I find myself in a season of heartbreak because of a love suddenly and devastatingly extinguished by deception. Lupita is so dramatic, y'all. She is so dramatic. I am tempted to run into the shadows and hide, only to return to the light when I have regained my strength enough for me to say, whatever, my life is better this way. Who he put her through it, y'all. But I am reminded that the magnitude of the pain I am feeling is equal to the measure of my capacity for love. And so I am choosing to face the pain, cultivating the courage to meet my life exactly as it is and trusting that this too shall pass. Sis was going through it because she's sitting here writing this long poem. She wanted us to know for some reason because she wanted to pop out with her new babe. That's what it was. The promise, they say, is that a tender heart is what gives birth to fearlessness. I hope it's true. I share this to keep it 100 and hope that the knowledge of my experience might be useful to someone else out there experiencing the grip of heartbreak, who is poised to try and escape from the pain and miss out on the wisdom that comes from it. #breakup. But sis, you ain't even let us know what he did. So how can I escape this heartbreak? I don't even know what he did to you. Experience of what? You just told us that you heartbroken. We all heartbroken. Now we want to know what happened, sis. That's what we really want to know. I'm sorry. I got to be real. Now, you know when a woman writes all these long poems, there's a purpose for it, y'all. She's sending out a message to her ex-bae, airplane bae. She letting him know that she is pretty much exposing him for the liar that he is, y'all. I done told y'all, he's half Haitian. And again, I'm not saying all Haitian men can't be trusted. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But baby, listen. Like I said, you should trust a Haitian woman when they're telling you. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep it like that. So sis explained that the reason she decided to share her breakup on social media is because I looked at the environment of my social media. Because remember, she was posting the happy times. And thought, I don't want to be part of this illusion that everything is always coming up roses. Surely there is a lesson for me to learn in this. I just want to be real about it. And I appreciate that, sis. Speak your truth. Now, in speaking the truth, I have to make you come to the front. I love you, Lupita. You're one of my favorite actresses. But, sis, you need to come forward here. What were you doing with Joshua Jackson, sis? Please let us know.
You want more, I'll give you more. We have a bombshell blind item about Joshua Jackson and Lupita Nyong'o. They may both be a problem. Let's start with the related headline. Joshua Jackson, night out with Lupita and friends amid divorce at Janelle Monáe concert. So they all went to the Janelle Monáe concert together on Thursday night. They called Backgrid, okay? But this is interesting. So sources with direct knowledge tell us Joshua and Lupita arrived together, but were among a group of about 9 or 10 people. They've known each other for years, and there's nothing romantic about the night out. So here they are in 2018, right? Not according to the blind item. This foreign-born A-list actress is an Oscar winner / nominee and recently split with her boyfriend because of deception. What about what she was doing with a north of the border actor? Why they were both with someone else? So this blind item is alleging that Lupita Nyong'o cheated on Salima and Joshua Jackson cheated on Jodie Turner-Smith with each other. Listen, I love Lupita Nyong'o, so I'm going to choose to not believe that blind item and that she's just a girl's girl, and that's what's really going on.
Because we saw y'all at the concert. I was cheesing. Well, matter of fact, you was looking like you was geeked. He just looked like he was there. And then, after that, we saw y'all holding hands and frolicking on the beach. You done left a fraudster and someone who deceived you. And then you got into the arms of this man who deceived our other good sis, Jodie. So, what's going on, sis? What happened? Sis wrote that whole monologue, y'all. She pulled our heartstrings, had people defending her, had us looking at Salima like a dog. Because how dare he mistreat our good sis Lupita? And then here she is, holding hands, kissing, doing all that while this man is in the midst of terrorizing his ex-wife through the divorce and not letting her see her daughter, taking away her income, not providing spousal and child support as he should because he was married to her. Let's be clear, you cheap bums that like to say, oh, she could do it herself. She don't need all that spousal support. That's not for you to determine, sir. That man decided to marry her without a prenup. If he was so concerned about his income, he should have had a prenup or even a postnup, because you can do that after. But nope, had no concern, no care in the world. And now he want to scream crying because she's trying to get her half of the money. She was part of the marriage too. They were on Vogue. They had a lot of sponsorships. They had a lot of money that they made together. Mind you, sis put down $800,000 for a home for them. Another home. I don't know what home this is. They have a lot of homes, y'all. What people don't understand is, yes, he had his money coming into the marriage because he's a child star. So he has his own money in his own right. Sis had her money in her own right. But they both made money together. Let's be clear. And a lot of the opportunities that he got, especially the newer ones, we don't know if it was because he was married to her or she was married to him. It was an equal exchange because your commodity and stock goes up. Why don't you ask Jay-Z? Ask Jay-Z how being married to Beyonce has helped his career. Why don't you ask him how many endorsements he got? Sponsorships. Because they're a force together. That's what people don't understand. Now, spousal support, he didn't want to pay. He didn't want to pay her child support. He didn't want to pay her nothing. He wants to make sure that she's struggling so he could snatch their daughter and take full custody of her. So now, him and Lupita are together and they're frolicking around. She went up under Josh Jackson while he was going through the divorce with the other sis. And that's the psychology of a lot of women who think that they're better than the ex. She thought that Jodie was not good enough for him. And Jodie was a troublemaker because this is Pacey. You know, he's a coveted white man. He's every woman's dream. Lupita and Jodie are not that far in age. We were all raised around the same time. So Lupita also knew who Pacey was. I'm sure she watched Dawson's Creek. She has since found love with her new partner, Joshua Jackson, but insisted she will be going back to the good old ways of keeping her love life private. Yeah, you should, because this is not a good look for you, sis.
What did being besties, like, less than 2 months? Like, if we remember, she filed, like, October, I think. He's accepted it by November. It's only December. He's already in another relationship. And even if they were just, like, holding it together at the end for their contracts, it just reminds me of the 2019 thing. Because the man was literally in a committed relationship with Jodie, and then was caught by the paps at LAX necking it off with a woman. And then, like, I think it was less than a week, like a couple of weeks, they're, like, together, going and getting their marriage license. But given how Lupita references that, like, deception was used, and that's why she split up with her ex, and that he basically lied to her, you know, girl, it's like, it's time to run. It's time to run far and wide. Damn it, Pacey.
I gotta point it out. This is not a good look for you. Because why did you think that this would be something that people would want to see? You and Joshua Jackson, while he's going through a divorce, especially how he treated his ex, that should have repelled you. But somehow you were attracted to it. They confirmed that they were together in December of 2023. Jodie filed for divorce and announced it in October.
So Joshua Jackson and Lupita Nyong'o have confirmed their relationship because they were spotted out holding hands and walking in Joshua Tree.
Who is Joshua Jackson?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, he's
Y'all
in
put
like
Beyonce on this morning.
everything. Yes.
Creek?
I don't
Here, I'm gonna pass this photo around. You guys, he
I
has,
know
most,
Goose Creek,
he has
South
one of the
Carolina.
most recognizable faces
You
ever.
don't remember him?
You think he's cute?
I wouldn't say he's cute, but I think, you know, he has a history of dating black women, so I think black women might be like, oh, okay, it's something about you.
They eat him up.
Why do all these beautiful melanated women love him? Because he's with Lupita Nyong'o now, and you show me.
He was with
He
Jodie
was with
before.
Jodie Smith before, who's an actress and a model.
That's
and
Queen from Queen and Slim.
And she is so beautiful and stunning. But they just got a divorce. She announced they were getting a divorce earlier this year, and 2 seconds later, he with Lupita. I'm like, go ahead then.
October. So Joshua and Lupita. No, because I'm gonna back it up so that people can understand where you're going with this. Joshua and Lupita were first spotted together in October, right? At a concert in LA. But they were with friends so they could play it off. So then they went out grocery shopping not too long ago. They were in the same car and Lupita kind of like hid in the car, but they entered and exited separately. Now these photos come out. They're holding hands. They're walking. You can't deny this. People are like, well, hold on, because Jodie filed for her divorce in October. They were spotted in October. Lupita was with her boyfriend that we know of, Sal, up until October, and then there were reports that she removed photos from Instagram once the concert photos came out. So basically, people are like, these timelines are overlapping.
She wrote that whole Instagram post not too long before that. So sis had a motive, y'all. Being the other woman never works in your favor, because he's just using you as a rebound and a way to escape his troubles, because now he has a distraction, which is you. Now they was popping out everywhere, celebrating her birthday in Mexico.
Joshua Jackson and Lupita Nyong'o get very cozy during a beachy getaway to Mexico. Grab your fans, because the heat radiating off these two is scorching. The Dawson's Creek alum and the Oscar winner soak up the sun in Puerto Vallarta in these exclusive pics, with Lupita sporting a two-piece while Josh rocks navy swim trunks. The pair hold hands and talk while walking on the sand. Then Joshua and Lupita pull each other in close as the water glides in toward their feet. According to an eyewitness, they looked madly in love, like they just couldn't get enough of one another. The insider adds that the two spent several days in the exotic locale to celebrate Lupita's 41st birthday, and Josh even had their room decorated with a large balloon display and a stunning bouquet of flowers to mark the occasion.
Then after that, Jodie spoke up about it, and she kind of made a comment. She said, because I guess someone asked her, how does she feel about her ex dating Lupita? And she said, good for them. We need happiness in order to peacefully co-parent. Basically, she's saying, thank you for making him happy, because he's demonic and I need you to make him happy so he could leave me alone. She continued to say that I'm trying to get us to the Gwyneth and Chris Martin level. I truly hope they're happy and that it benefits us as a family. We already could see that you thought you were better than Jodie. Because remember, this man is the coveted white man. So sis is thinking that she could treat him better and do better than Jodie, even knowing that Jodie went through this and Diane went through this too. But they wasn't thinking about none of that. Now, at least with Jodie, I could give her some time, because he broke up with Diane in 2016. He met Jodie in 2018. So that was a big enough gap. That was quick. Him and Lupita. So they definitely overlapped. I can guarantee that. And remember when he was like, I don't think a man can be monogamous. I don't think that's possible. Do you come from a two-parent household? Yeah, we already knew what time it was, Josh. I'm going hard on Josh, but I have to. And I'm going hard on sis too, because it's like, why would you be complicit in another woman's pain? I just don't understand that. And like I said, being the other woman is not a flex, because he's just going to end up doing to you what he did to the other one. Let's see what happened. So now they were together. Remember, they popped out in December of 2023. By September of 2024, he was spotted with model Natasha Roberts. Though she didn't share any details about when or why she and Jackson went their separate ways, she confirmed that she was single while talking about her cat in Harper's Bazaar, UK. My love for my cat is singular, she said. If I'm ever so lucky to be in a romantic relationship again, it'll be because of him. Sis is itching to get married. And I'm sorry to say, because I respect her as an actress, so this has nothing to do with her craft, but it has to do with the fact that sis is a pick-me, y'all. I can already tell. Listen, there's no other way to describe her behavior. She is male identified. I can already tell. And Jodie was too, but she woke up when she had her daughter. I think having her daughter woke her right up. Our sis Lupita, she's in the sunken place right now. I was ready to shut that door and lock it and bolt it. He has ensured that my heart remains open. So she's saying her cat is making her love again. All right, sis, I guess that's what it is. Now, this man was never going to be faithful to anyone but himself. Moving on, we done heard all of this, y'all. Ooh, this was a long one, Lord. Now, moving forward, Josh and Jodie finally came to a resolution with their divorce. So let's go over it quickly and wrap this thing right up. Wrap it up. This was published on May 12th. That was just a few days ago. Joshua Jackson and Jodie Turner-Smith have reached a divorce settlement more than 1 year after her initial filing. It was more like 18 months, y'all, but carry on. So it looks like US Weekly got a hold of the court documents, and the deal was signed by Joshua Jackson, 46, and Turner-Smith, 38, on May 3rd. So, y'all, they just settled this a few weeks ago. This is insanity. She filed in October of 2023. It is 2025. In the deal, the former couple agreed that neither party would receive spousal support. Now, sis, he must have fought you tooth and nail for that. He fought you tooth and nail. He was not going to pay that spousal support. That man said, I am no longer taking care of you. Was he doing it? I mean, he didn't have the funds and made her pay the down payment for $800,000. You see, this is the reason why I said that if you want to lead and be the one to lead the relationship, then that's how you're going to end leading. That's it. That's all. Sis was the one who initiated everything. The proposal, the marriage. She was the captain of the ship. And now look at that. This man don't even want to give her spousal support, y'all. The mother of his child. She gave him a legacy, y'all. She put her body through a lot. She had days of labor, y'all. Her labor was not easy at all. And also, she put her life at risk. Giving birth is risky. It is dangerous, y'all. It's life-threatening. She did all that and gave him the most valuable gift that he has. And he even said it's the most valuable thing that she has given him. And then he don't even want to pay her spousal support, y'all. What value can you put on your child? There's no value. But at least a thank you. Like, you know what? We were married. You deserve this spousal support because we made money together, y'all. We could split it together. I'm going to take care of my ex-wife because she is the mother of my child. And that child is going to have both parents in her life. And I want to make sure that my daughter is in a stable situation. I don't want her mama to be struggling like my mama struggled. But again, the dustiness came out. He's a dusty. So it says here that she will keep all her earnings, accumulations, and efforts prior to the marriage as she should. During marriage and post-separation, she will also hold on to cash, personal belongings, without limitation, including clothing, jewelry, watches, and other personal effects in her possession and or under her control. She will keep all art, antiques, furniture, electronics, and professional equipment in her possession, as well as all of her bank accounts, investment accounts, and retirement accounts, and her SAG-AFTRA pension plan. She will also hold on to all interest in her businesses and all residuals, royalties, and intellectual property stemming from films, filming, commercial, and film-related projects, as well as from her modeling career. And then Jackson will keep all earnings he made before, during, and after their separation. He will also hold on to his jewelry and watches, as well as 2 homes in Los Angeles. He will also keep several bank investment and retirement accounts, his business, all vehicles in his name, and all insurance proceeds he is paid after losing his home in the Los Angeles wildfires because he lost his childhood home. He will also keep all residuals owed to him from his acting career. While Jackson paid Turner-Smith a one-time payment of $133,000 in March, he will make another payment in the same amount this month. He will pay Turner-Smith $2,787 per month in child support. However, the number could change moving forward. By April 15, 2025, and every year thereafter, the parties shall exchange their income and expense information for the prior calendar year, along with supporting documentation, in order for the parties or their representatives to calculate the appropriate amount of child support for the prior calendar year. If they did not reach an agreement of the appropriate calculation of child support of the prior calendar year, they will receive help from the judge. They conceded to separate their assets. He is like, I'm not paying spousal support. I'm just going to pay the minimum child support. This man makes $195,000 a month, and he's only paying child support for $2,700. So they've both moved on, and sis is looking amazing. She is glowing. She looks at peace. She looks happy. Sis is working, y'all.
Period. It is definitely glowing. And also congrats on like the agency. It's so amazing. I'm so excited to see you in season 2. So you're doing it. We're excited to see Samia get out of that prison, okay?
Smith, you look fantastic. So, you know, as gorgeous as you are, we want to know, are you back on the market dating? Are you dating?
I mean, look at me. Shouldn't I be?
Oh, well, is that a yes or is that a no?
Why, you know someone who's single?
I mean, I wish I did it because I'm single myself. I don't have anybody, so I'm not doing that great either.
Thank you.
I mean, I know, like, I read somewhere that you are definitely getting to know yourself better, which I love.
I'm focusing on mothering and just being the amazing human being that my daughter is.
As for Joshua Jackson, he is still working, probably frolicking somewhere, Lord knows. Who knows what he's doing, y'all. They both seem very devoted to their daughter and are trying to make co-parenting work going forward. That is the end of this case study. I have already given you guys a lot of key takeaways throughout this case study. And to be honest with you, I'm ready to wrap this up because this made my head hurt. Let me know what other couples you'd like me to cover, and I will do that. Unfortunately, some couples I will have to put under the YouTube membership, or you can also find my case studies on my Rumble channel, which is for free. You guys go ahead and follow me there. The link is in the description box. So in any case, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, take care of your beautiful selves, and bye.